Wake up, guys. DC dropped a super strong character into the Flash mythos, Fuerza. She's strong, has morals, fights corruption, and wait for it, might even be stronger than Superman? So stay tuned as we dive into everything you need to know about this hero and reveal if Fuerza's powers can surpass even Superman. But wait, who is Fuerza anyway? The Flash's new comrade made her debut in Flash number 59. She's a native of Corto Maltese, a fictional South American country, and she's a conduit of the Strength Force, much like the Flash is of the Speed Force. The Speed Force is just one of the many forces in the universe, as Barry has lately learned, in case you haven't been watching The Flash. Fuerza, whose real name is Alexa Antigone, is an anarchist who fights against the corrupt government of her home nation Corto Maltese. The Strength Force, an enigmatic cosmic energy, grants her a wide array of abilities to use in her fight against corruption. Despite their early animosity, she and the Flash eventually form a team to combat the corrupt Corto Maltese police force and get insight into their ties into the Speed Force and Strength Forces. Now, anyone wielding this force becomes unstoppable, immune to harm, and master of the forces of gravity and the planet Earth. The people of her hometown are protected from a corrupt police force by Fuerza, who employs the Strength Force. To learn more about the Strength Force, Flash and Iris go to see her. In classic comic book style, they engage in combat and soon become friends. While Fuerza's notion isn't always groundbreaking, she brings a new perspective to Flash, and being one of the original Strength Force heroes, she has the potential to remain for a while. Although I've speculated about many worse and more forced personalities, I must admit that this is definitely a pick and stick situation, and we love to see it. But like any superhero, it's safe to assume that she had an epic origin story, right? Now, you wouldn't be wrong to think that. Since the three new forces were introduced to the Flash mythos, Barry Allen's understanding of his own powers and their connection to the Speed Force has been completely disrupted. The discovery of the Strength, Sage, and Still forces has expanded both Barry's abilities and his position in the cosmos. Like many others, Barry has always believed that his powers were a lucky break. However, he is now learning that his destiny has always been to control the Speed Force, and that his destinies are intertwined with that of the other three forces as well. Now, Alexa Antigone was just a basic student trying to figure out how to make a difference in the corrupt Maltese nation. But one day, when she was walking down a pathway, the earth cracked open and engulfed her completely. Eventually, she emerged with the incredible and unimaginable power. Her appearance changed from slender to hulking the moment she rose from the earth. Initially, she had no control over her powers and pretty much went Hulk smash. Gradually, she discovered that by maintaining her composure during training with her new skills, she could maintain her regular size while gaining all of the strength. But what's more interesting is that she discovered during her training that her strength can be directed to specific areas of her body depending on the demand. For example, when she lifts a tank, her strength goes to the muscles actually lifting the weight, leaving the rest of her body as weak as any other person. Additionally, she discovered she has the ability to control gravitational fields. However, she opted to focus on improving her athletic abilities, saving this one for later, I guess, which were on full display when she battled Flash and the cops. She didn't waste any time using her skills to fight against the ruthless Cauldron's corrupt police force in her nation, which had imported illegal weapons. In the end, she carved herself a hideout in the mountains near her house, and the inhabitants of Corto Maltese lived there in freedom from corruption. One day, as Fuerza was trying to destroy one of the Cauldron's illicit weapon caches, she saw the Flash approach her. Now, Barry came searching for Alexa because he believed that she might channel the mystical Strength Force, but it all went south when Alexa attacked Flash, thinking he had come to assist the cops in dealing with them. You can't blame her for this considering how the narrative was told, especially to the outside world, which was against her by the way. But Flash quickly indicated that he was an ally and the two became buddies. After Fuerza decided she wanted to speak with the Flash, she brought the American vigilante to her mansion in the mountains. In order to earn Fuerza's trust, Flash disclosed his true identity as Barry Allen and then proceeded to expose the source of her power. Flash told Fuerza that the source of her power was the Strength Force, which was connected to the ancient power that has existed since the creation of the multiverse. All the time and space were once protected by four avatars, each of whom stood for one of the four forces: Strength, Speed, Sage, and Still. Barry then revealed that he came in hopes of learning about the other forces and his own powers. Luckily for him, Fuerza revealed what she knew about her abilities abilities, and the two spent hours explaining their forces to each other. And since this is the comic book world, you can bet we got to see an epic team-up in action. Later that day, a wounded father and his child approached Flash and Fuerza as they were defending medical supplies from Cauldron's troops. The two superheroes hurried to the mountaintop location where Cauldron was holding Fuerza's loved ones captive after the guy informed them that Cauldron had forced them into disclosing the location on the mountain hideout. As soon as the two arrived, Cauldron fired a peculiar bubble gun fueled by the Sage Force at our superheroes. As they clung to the heroes, these bubbles metamorphosized into the embodiment of Fuerza's greatest fears. According to what Flash informed Fuerza, the Sage Force was manipulating her thoughts to bring her worst nightmares to life. The Flash and Fuerza defeated the demons with an epic combination strike. After disarming Cauldron, Fuerza attempted to murder him, but the Flash stepped in just in time to prevent that. Fuerza became infuriated and went into Hulk mode as a result of this. What's the DC equivalent of Hulk mode? Someone let me know in the comments. Anyway, she made a brief attempt to murder Flash before her mother intervened and persuaded her that her actions were unjust. So we kind of see her journey here. Even though she can control her powers for the most part, she still has a lot to go before she's at her full potential. Which brings us to what her true potential is. Alexa possesses exceptional strength, which is a given considering she's a conduit for the strength force. Even when she's calm, she's able to control her powers, and boy, is she powerful. To put this in context, she has the potential to be even stronger than Superman himself. The guy's called God among men. Now, for the time being, this theory is only speculative. All we can do is imagine her potential strength and maybe set an arm wrestling contest with Superman to see who's stronger. As if that wasn't enough, she possesses immense superhuman durability, is practically immune to harm, and is invincible while in a resting condition. Only when she uses some of her strength boosting powers to boost her body's strength does she become more vulnerable. In other words, the stronger she gets, the more susceptible she is. Fuerza also possesses above average superhuman agility and speed, so she's not just all muscles and smash. But the question is, what powers does the Strength Force have? Aside from the ability to lift large objects, this particular Strength Force also involves a generalized boost to strength. Anyone who has access to the Strength Force undergoes a transformation that causes them to swell in stature. The Strength Force grants its conduits superhuman abilities by consuming a human from the ground up, as Fuerza demonstrates. She can easily cause shockwaves just by hitting the ground. Fuerza, as shown by the CW, possesses comparable strength when she protects Barry from Psyche in Family Matters Part 1 of the Flash show. But when it comes to the comic books, the Strength Force relies a lot on the laws of motion and gravity. That would also grant the conduits the ability to shape the earth, enabling them to create rocks that might even be used as weapons. In contrast to the Force users in Season 7 of The Flash, Fuerza figured out how to keep her normal size. In her situation, it was tied to the need to remain composed so that Fuerza wouldn't grow any larger. During her Arrowverse debut, Barry learns that she can absorb his lightning force during their first encounter. Even Abracadabra's antimatter bomb couldn't destroy Fuerza because she could absorb it. But just how strong is Fuerza? A quick show of her powers demonstrates that she can easily lift a tank high above her head by sending strength force to wherever it's needed. She also says that she doesn't care much about the gravity part of her powers, but it is eager to find out where her amazing powers came from. In exchange, the Flash helps her make some transfers, and they quickly find that they have a lot in common since both of them want to keep people in their city safe and that they both have one of the cosmic forces in them. So it's safe to say that they've bonded quite well. As Fuerza informs the Flash and Iris, the corrupt chief of the Corto Maltese police, Cauldron, has been bringing illegal weapons shipments into the country and was about to destroy one when the Flash stepped in. She demonstrates that she has her own issues to handle, but Barry tries to gain her trust and convince her that they should collaborate by revealing his identity to her, a move that Iris advises against. While she does her best to keep the people in her care safe from Cauldron and his goons, she informs the Flash that she would be open to collaborating with him if he ensures that her people follow her rules. So with all this being said, it's a little unclear if Fuerza is stronger than Superman. We would need to see some sort of battle between the two, but one thing's for sure, she really held her own against the Flash. Do you think we'll see this epic duo collaborate more in the future? Or maybe even a team of these cosmic force wielders?